You're listening to the Two-Man Advantage. You're listening to the Two-Man Advantage.
Welcome to the Two-Man Advantage. I'm Nick Deziel, along with some two weird guys that are sitting in the studio with me. One guy is Kyle Simkins.
Sounds about right.
And the other guy behind the glass is Darrin DDC. So thanks for joining us on our new website. Hopefully you get to check it all out. And we're going to be talking a couple different topics today. You got the NHL, and we have a little baseball game for you, for all your Jewish fans out there, since you're all pounding your chest with that 9-game winning streak.
You should be.
And, and our classic rants. So let's get right to it. So Montreal's in the brink, and it's not looking so good. It seems to be that was the dagger in game.
Marty St. Louis' little shot from the. It was a beauty goal too. I liked it.
Now, Carey
Price stops that,
yes.
but hey, whatever. You gotta be the best. Beat the best.
Speaking of Carey Price, he's practicing.
He did a couple minutes of skating with a regular hockey stick backing up into the net.
He's on the ice.
It's
so Montreal fans, get ready. You know they're shooting him up.
No, they are. No,
he's going out there.
He's not. He's not. He's not going out there. He will not be out there. I mean, unless the head coach is lying to us and just making us all.
Well, but if it's better than him just sitting and not doing anything, so there's progress. So if they do happen to win tonight,
he said he's not playing in this series.
Come talk to me when it's Game 7.
Hey, I mean, I'm just an observer now. I mean, I'd love to see 7 games in every series right now, and. This series would have been so much better if Carey Price was in it, obviously.
Everybody wanted to see the Lundqvist-Price battle.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
The two best-looking goalies ever, right? Who wouldn't want to see that?
I do have a question, though. If it happens to be, like you said, that this series would be a lot closer if Carey Price was involved, but wasn't he in net? I'm sorry. But wasn't he in net for the first game where he let in a colossal, 5 or 6 goals?
I think it was 4 goals, and then they give him the yank because he got hurt.
Okay.
But I think it's a wash because that's for beating Boston. You just beat Boston.
Well, and he did let in a lot of goals in some games in the Boston series, too. But Carey Price is a game changer. And when you throw... And like I said last week, Tokarski's may be the reason they're losing this right now. But interesting stat, Montreal did not win a game this year without scoring 3 goals. They have not scored 3 goals in any of the games against the Rangers.
That was
wrong. They won the game they won. They won it. They had 3 goals.
Right into my next question. Is tonight the night they put a couple goals past Lundqvist?
I think so.
Lundqvist's goals against average is 1.95 in the series. So
that's how you beat the Canadiens.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think
at home, Bell Center's gonna be rocking. You have to really if you think about it.
The Bell Center is almost like having a 7th guy out there. It's like an extra attacker. Like it's an insane building. They talk about it every time there's a playoff game there, just how magnificent that building is. And I think Montreal can win the game. I think Tokarski's good enough to win a playoff game, especially for being 24 and thrown in.
He already has.
It's true. It's true. And,
just a question, can you do it for the next 3 games?
No. Nope. Montreal needs to score, though. They need to help Tokarski out a little bit. I mean, if New York's going to score, and New York's got, right now, the best goalie, and that's a recipe for disaster for the Habs.
New York also has another big thing on their side is momentum. Momentum from the last playoff series, which everything with Martin St. Louis' mother passing away,
You've seen that perk up right around that.
And he seems like he's playing on another planet, which is it's not unheard because
it happens every year, right? Someone does it every year.
Was St. Louis
not the mother dying?
St. Louis has been a phenomenal player since he came into the league,
mm-hmm.
but also this guy has been playing on an unbelievable level. So to have production from him and also Nash starting to pick it up, and also Brad Richards being Brad Richards, there's just more weapons than I think that the Habs can handle. There's just too much firepower on that team.
Do they make it back to Madison Square Garden for Game 6?
Yes. I think Montreal wins this game. Or
Darren?
wins Game 5.
Yeah, I think I would like to see them, but then again, it wouldn't surprise me if they close it out in New York. In Montreal, which is shown that they can win anywhere.
It's
Montreal,
true.
Russia,
They
wherever.
won
they're
both
playing.
games
In
first two
Montreal,
games in
yeah.
Montreal.
In Montreal, so it doesn't matter really where they're playing. If like I said, if the Habs get on them early and put on the pressure early and get a couple goals, get the momentum, then they'll maybe have a chance to go back to New York for Game 6.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you too and say that Montreal will pull this game out tonight. I think the building will be rocking, even though it was rocking in Game 1 and they got jail sexed. Just as a Canadian, you gotta pull for the Montreal Canadiens because they've had such a great year, and it was just an unfortunate circumstance with Price.
I'm not pulling for them. I don't care who wins. I'm going to throw that out there.
So,
You know what? To be honest, I would love to see the New York Rangers back in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think that would be great.
I think the L.A. New
The
York
LA, New
thing
York,
has been stirring around
I
for
think-
a couple seasons
I think it would be great for the game, especially down south.
It's what they've wanted
Yeah,
forever.
and they have really good teams on both sides of the coast in New York and LA. And
Yeah.
I would love to see that match.
Two biggest markets.
Yep.
now, LA and Chicago. Chicago in some hot water here.
Did you watch that game last night? Whoo.
Yeah, that was when I turned it on. It was 2-0. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And then it was 3-0. And then it was 4-0. Then they started scoring, and
Come
then they
back
had
a little bit.
their meaningless goal with 4.2 seconds left. I mean, no goal's meaningless. I mean, it shows that they can get it past quick. But I mean,
But just the
They,
way
they got up early
just the way
at
that
home
the,
with Jonathan Quick in net. That's tough.
But it's the way that Daryl Sutter teams always play. They always play tough, and they get production from no names like Toffoli and also Jacob Muzzin. We're like, who is this kid? This kid's been tearing it up lately in the last couple of games. He had like 3 or 4 points in his last 2 games.
I'm just watching some of the highlights right now, and LA just swarms the puck.
Yeah.
And Chicago's a great team, and they're making at some points they're making Chicago look like, I don't know, not a team that's been in the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row and won a cup 2 years before that. I mean,
Now, does it all change once the Hawks go back home? Do you think they can kind of turn it around a little bit, or do you think this is bad news for the Hawks, even though they're going home?
Yeah, but with the Hawks, you would think their first round series they played a grueling 7 games, pretty much 6 out of the 7 games, or they went were battled, and like 4 or 5 of them went in overtime, and then the next round they had another tough battle.
well, like Nick said earlier, we were talking. Chicago has come back from a 3-1.
Yep.
This almost exact team. It was last year against Detroit in the second round. They were down 3-1, and they did what they had to do, and they went on to win a Stanley Cup. It was almost when Patrick Kane sort of woke up in those last couple games against Detroit, and he's asleep right now. He was showtime against Minnesota.
That's why it's tough to say the Hawks are done, because they have all these superstars.
Because they have 2 Conn Smythe Award winners in Kane and Taves on their first line.
And it's just like they lull you to sleep, and then all of a sudden they can just explode and take over the series again. So I want to say that the Kings are going to take care of business just because of how good Jonathan Quick is playing, and that Jeff Carter guy. How good is he? Leading the series in points and goals. Points with 9 and goals with 4. So unreal. And we were talking beforehand how good he is in pressure situations and all different aspects of hockey.
Yeah, in the one that really stood out to me was the 2005 World Juniors, and that was like the greatest World Junior team probably ever assembled because of the NHL lockout. He played 6 games and had 10 points. 7 of those were goals. I mean, when you have good people around you, you produce more, but he was the guy producing then on that team. And if you would have asked me if Carter was on that team, the ones I remember are, Crosby, and he's going to produce, and he's going to do something in the next game too. He's on a roll. He could be a Conn Smythe.
He seems to be in the right spot at the right time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And, a lot of guys, you see, we just talked about, Kane and Taves and how they're kind of sleeping right now. Carter is completely awake.
He is wide open.
And taking advantage of the other two guys being, not around. So, do they take care of business, Darren?
Do they take care of business? It's the Hawks. This team thrives on its home crowd giving them energy. So I expect them to win game 6. The Madhouse on Madison. I expect them to at least take it to a 7 game, which LA will end up winning.
I'm going to contradict myself from what I said in the in the Eastern Conference, where I think that the Bell Center will supply Montreal with the passion to play better and win. I think LA goes in. Like I said, I was just watching those highlights. I don't think it's going to change. I think LA is the team that is headed to the Stanley Cup Finals from the West.
I would agree. They are the best team in the NHL right now, LA. They are unbelievable. The way they're playing, the goaltending, they're complete. Their coach just grabbed that team by the throat, and they're playing for them just like they have in the past when they've won in long playoff runs. And I think they were the 8th seed and won the cup. Stick with us. We'll be right back, and we got a little bit of a fun game for the MLB lovers out there. Like the Two-Man Advantage podcast? Like, share, and comment on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter as we pull our hair every week with sports topics that you enjoy. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Two-Man Advantage. Welcome back to the Two-Man Advantage. Major League Baseball. Past 40 games now. We're right around 50. I think it's 48 games. So now we can kind of see how everything's going to turn out. Or, with the streak, you got 120 games left. So, the Toronto Blue Jays, fake or real?
They look real to me. I'm looking at their schedule right here, and since May 14th, they've lost twice, and they've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. They're on a 7-game win streak. The last time
they can hit the ball.
Oh, my God. Did you see the game yesterday?
It's like everybody complains about the pitching, and I was the first one, complaining about their pitching. But
if you can score 10 runs, you can allow them to score 5. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean,
especially in that dome.
Imagine we had this conversation last week, last week us could hear this week us talking about this, and then we start talking about the Tigers right now, and it's just like they flip-flopped. And I'm not worried, but it's not encouraging. It's a long season, and we beat that idea into the ground last week, Kevin and I, about how long this season is and how many things can happen, but the Jays are for real.
This is the first time a Jays fan could be excited about looking at the standings at this point in this
2 games
season.
up.
But haven't we seen this story before?
Every season.
Haven't we watched this movie over and over?
I'm a Leafs fan and a Lions fan.
Exactly.
I've seen this many times.
Blue Jay fans are all
cut from the same ilk.
Exactly. And it's cute. Can we say it's cute that the Jays think that they actually have a chance to make the playoffs this year?
All the Jays fans just swore at you, just so you know.
Yeah, I understand that, but
he's like, I don't care.
I don't care because I know how the story ends. I've seen this show, a couple times in my lifetime, and I know they start off great and then they're gonna hit a slump, just like the Tigers are in a slump right now. Ever since their plane malfunction in Boston. They've only won 1 game.
That's true. Yeah, when they went to Cleveland there and they showed up 15 minutes.
Pretty much.
I really think that they should fire that pilot for what happened, or the crew.
Don't use that airline anymore. How about
they have their own plane.
And what happened was it's that little cart that grabs the front landing gear and pulls the plane in position.
Yeah.
Apparently backed into it too hard. So I bet you it was a Jays fan.
Probably a Jays fan or a Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Indians
I blame
fan.
the Indians for sure.
Okay, let's get to our rapid fire segment here.
Woo!
So, Ric Flair. I love it. I love it. Miguel Cabrera. Darren,
Yeah.
MVP this year? Sure. That means, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Without a doubt. His average can be a lot better, and same with the home.
It seems to be coming around from
It's
where
coming
he was
around, but I'm still waiting for the power from the. I'm waiting for the swing is there. I like to see more home runs coming out for him, but crushing the ball and spraying it all across the field, it's there. I think he's up there in the league leaders in doubles and triples, and runs batted in. So, am I think he's going to be a clear cut winner? No. Is he
I
gonna
think
be,
Mike Trout is. This is going to be.
This is his year to beat
Yes.
Cabrera, I believe.
Is he going to be in contention? Yes, absolutely. But it's all about how the team plays. If the team gets on base for him and is there to set him up, I'm sure he'll be able to knock him in.
Kyle, MVP?
No. There's too many. I mean, it is after 40 now, right? So it's a long season, yeah, but it's after 40. And everyone always says you can't really make a judgment on a guy or a team until after 40 games. We're past 40 games. And I think that, I mean, look, you could name a couple Jays who could end up being the MVP if this continues.
Yeah,
but Trout's got to be the main guy right now. He's playing out of his mind like he always does, and the guy can barely just legally drink in the United States still. And he's, I mean,
It's a clown. That's a clown question, bro.
that was Harper, wasn't it?
That was Harper. But,
Yeah.
Same
thing.
You know,
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
Victor Martinez. Does he hit 30 home runs? Kyle?
What did I say last week?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh gosh. Let me see.
He's almost halfway
no,
there.
No, he's not gonna. He's gonna hit 27.
27.
Yep.
Why? You think
'cause
this is just a power surge and it will even out, like Victor Martinez
I
usually
think
does?
just like the team is right now. Last week the team was on top of the world, 27-13 or something like that, and now they're 28-19.
Yeah.
Which there's still 5 games up on the division, so it's a
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
relaxing.
but
but at the same time, that's gonna fall apart quick.
Yeah, but also to lose to Cleveland Indians 3 straight, that hurts. That's a divisional opponent right there. You don't want to give them any.
He
kind
will
of-
level out, and he will almost get to 30, but he won't. No.
Darren,
Yeah.
does he get to 30?
30 home runs, and I think he's at.
He has 12 right
he has
now
12
through
right
47
now.
games.
He has a long way to go. Yes, he will easily make it to 30 home runs. I'm gonna say 32 home runs.
I hope you're right.
And over 100 RBIs.
He's never hit 30 home runs in his career.
I think. Well, this is his year, and he's in a contract year.
He's in a
so-
contract year, too. Kevin brought that up last week.
Yeah.
He's in a contract year, and those are the years that,
But
Guys like to get paid.
guys like to get paid. And he's a switch-hitting DH. I mean, it's the greatest
And
opportunity.
a first baseman.
And a catcher,
and
if
a
you
catcher.
really
Yeah.
want to throw it out there. But
he's the
he's
man.
the switch-hitting DH for the Detroit Tigers right now, and that's amazing.
But
I hope he hits 40 home runs. He's
No,
not gonna, but,
as long as he stays healthy
That was gonna
and
for
he's
sure.
productive.
Yeah, now he's going to
that's
hurt his
all-
knee or
That's
something.
all that matters.
There goes
Who
his
will have
outside.
more, Victor Martinez with RBIs or the Toronto Blue Jays with wins? Darren.
Ooh, Victor Martinez with RBIs or Toronto Blue Jays with wins. I'm gonna go with Victor having more RBIs than the Toronto Blue Jays.
Why?
It just he's been consistently the second best player on that team driving in runs with Cabrera in front setting the table and right now Victor is the best hitter on this team. Now you guys can disagree with me on that, but if you look at it, I know they're in a slump right now, but when
Kinzer's been hitting well.
but when they were tearing it up, it's usually Victor Martinez that's been driving in the big bulk of the runs.
Prince Fielder who?
Right? Oh, my neck hurts. It's going to be Victor Martinez with more RBIs than the Toronto Blue Jays with wins. Toronto is leading that statistic by a single point/run/win. I don't know, but the Jays are 30 and 22, and Martinez has 29 RBIs. So it's easier for a player, especially someone who is a slugger and who has Miguel Cabrera ahead of him in the lineup who is usually on base or has a high OBP, but it's more likely that a single player will have. And the Jays just went on a crazy run, and they're up by 1 right now in this race. So it's way easier for a single person.
But do you remember like 2 weeks ago when the Leafs, Tigers swept Baltimore and Boston on the road, and they were the hottest team in baseball. Teams go through streaks.
Yeah,
Toronto's right now is on a hot streak. They swept the A's on the weekend, and then on Monday,
like in a week, the Jays could be 30-30.
Exactly. And that's what you got to love about baseball. Any day, every day is different.
So, yes, Victor has more.
Jays fans, get ready. If you're going to make the playoffs this year, you'll have more wins than Victor Martinez RBIs. But that is not going to happen because Victor Martinez has a track record of having over 100 RBIs multiple times, even hitting behind Miguel Cabrera.
And the Jays will not have 100 wins.
Not a chance.
Not in the East.
95 is usually what you need to get into the playoffs, between 92 and 95. So that's a long ladder to climb.
What's the old saying in the AL East? Is that where they play?
To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Yeah, they are the man right now.
Yeah, they haven't done that in a
let's
long
look
time.
In the long. Let's look in the long run.
I'm sure
you got Boston, you got New York. Those teams are just
I'm sure Pedroia swinging a baseball bat in the dugout will get them all psyched up.
You know what it's like? It's like it's like a horse race, and and then you got the real favorites at the back. They're just pacing. They're just waiting, and then they're just like, okay, let's fucking go, and they just run up the side and just take it over. So the Jays are nice. I hope that they can maintain a level of consistency, which they have been lacking for years and years. So hopefully their pitching stays strong and they get that continually.
Are the Jays California Chrome? That's the real question. That should have been in your rapid fire.
Is that this weekend?
I don't know.
Does Batista hit 50 home runs?
Well, he's done it before.
Multiple times.
If he stays healthy, yeah.
No, he's not gonna. But the rest of his team hitting. They're a great team, and no, he won't. He'll get close. He's just like Vimar with 30. He'll get close to 50, but it's a long season, and he's a great player, so anything can happen, but I don't think so.
Cool. Stick with us. We'll be right back with some more Two-Man Advantage.
So I think very clearly this coaching staff said, number one, we need to get Stafford right. Number two, one of the ways we'll do that is to improve the talent around him. Sign Golden Tate, draft Eric Ebron, bring in guys that now you look at that offense where you got, Golden Tate, Calvin Johnson, Eric Ebron, Brandon Pettigrew, Reggie Bush. It's going to be real tough for defenses to handle that, but Stafford also has to produce. And I'm very, very.
Welcome back to the Two-Man Advantage. That is Lions play-by-play man Dan Miller that sat down with 2MA's Kevin McShann last week, and we have a one-on-one interview on our website. Check our blog, and also Kevin's First Take, Mobilizing Media, on your right-hand side if you're listening on our website right now. So we're going to come back with our rants. Boys, are you ready to rant?
Sure, why not?
Rants. Let's go.
Rants.
Darren, what do you got for me?
All right. Big question is, I believe it's this weekend. I gotta double check. It's the Belmont. It's a big horse race.
Yeah.
It's the final leg of the Triple Crown in horse racing. If those of you care about horse racing, I know not a lot of people do.
It used to be big around here.
Used to be big, but when you get to see something that has a chance at history, like California Chrome going for the Triple Crown, which hasn't been done since, I believe, 1977 Secretariat.
No, it was someone else.
or-
Secretariat did it, but then it
I'm
was
sorry, it was Seattle Slew.
something like
I want to say that.
We really researched this.
Yeah, we did.
Either way, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Just like the baseball Triple Crown.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Triple Crown, and I know they say it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, which, I guess if you are into the horse racing or if you had got money on it, sure, it's exciting. But me, I'll be definitely tuning in because I want to see if this horse can make history, because they say it hasn't been done. And so if you want to check out a great, piece of history, tune in. I'm sure NBC will be carrying it like they always do. And hopefully California Chrome will bring home the Triple Crown. That'd be nice. That's the end of the rant. Here, boys.
Kyle? Horse racing.
I might not touch on the horse racing.
Sports. Come on.
Right now, it is a sport, and it is it's one of America's best pastimes, maybe number 2. But anyways, speaking of America's pastime, I'm going to talk about the 162 game season that we all seem to think when a team wins or loses, it affects the whole season. Everyone who is worried about the Tigers, relax. Everyone who is excited about the Jays, have fun with it. When the Tigers were winning last week, I was super pumped. They're not going to give up the division lead all year. They might get to their pitcher. Every pitcher is going to have an ERA under 3, and they're going to be 10 games up in the division. I was dumb to think that was going to happen. And if a Jays fan thinks that they're just going to cruise through the end, which I hope they don't, because a lot of Jays fans are very smart baseball fans. Just remember, there is 162 games, and there is an extra wild card now. So, I mean, if both teams do make the playoffs, that'll be great for this area. That'll be awesome. So, but just sit back and relax. We're 40 games in now. It does mean business now, but there is still a lot of baseball to play, and there are still a lot of injuries to happen. There are still a lot of no-name players to come up and do well, and I just hope that the Tigers make the playoffs, obviously, but they will. It'll be fine. Just remember, it's a long season. Don't overreact to every little thing that happens over the course of a week. It's a 6-month season.
Breathe. Relax.
Mr. Deziel,
You're up.
Okay. I want to go basketball. And with the Miami Heat, after they just toyed with the Indiana Pacers, 102-90, took a 3-1 lead in the series. Who cares? They win every year. They go to the finals. Okay, wait, hold on. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Well, okay, listen. Yes.
But 6 and 7.
He's taking his pounds to South Beach.
They were right, okay? They're great. They're awesome. But this is the problem with basketball. Everybody in this room or anybody listening could have told me who the Final Four were going to be. And that's lame.
Did you have Indiana? No.
Yeah,
They were the first seed.
doesn't mean anything.
It's ridiculous. The NBA is ruining basketball. It has ruined it.
I love basketball, but this makes me not like basketball so much. So, Miami Heat, please give us something to watch and lose a game or two, would ya?
Could one of LeBron's knees just stop working? That'd be super. I would love to see it. I'm not wishing harm on anyone, but please, one of LeBron's knee, left one, how about? Just give out.
No.
He'd still probably win.
The guy's a freak of nature.
He'd walk on his hands.
The guy's a freak of nature.
Shoot with his other good foot.
So anything that, you know what, I'm saying they're going to win number 3, and then he's going to take his talents to go back to Cleveland.
He will not. I guarantee the.
Do you see the Cleveland
the
Cavs,
obsession?
The way they keep winning that draft lottery, they're luring those picks in to get LeBron back.
Obviously they are, but there's a cap in the NBA that
What
I don't.
cap?
Well, it's a soft cap, right? And I guess if he comes back, he'd be their
Soft like
franchise
butter.
player, and his wouldn't go against the cap. But he will be lured back by the temptation of a possible 4 in a row. He is not going back to Cleveland. He's not. As a Cavalier, anyways.
If you're a Cavaliers fan, I would break stuff. I would be like, no way you're coming back.
No way.
here.
They got Wiggins, man. They're going to.
Thanks for tuning in this week.
Team
We're going to
Canada.
say thank you to St. Clair College and the Mediaplex for allowing us to do our radio show right here in our radio studio. Stick with us for next week. we have a whole new show coming
We
up.
also want to give a quick shout out to Rocket Ships, Motor City Head Rush, Bleach, and Life Ashtray for the music today.
It's great music.
If you want
Awesome
more,
music.
go to the right-hand side of the page and click on Contact Us, and we'll give you as much music from them as you want.
Alrighty.
Take care.
Bye.